Hello everyone, welcome to Ferdinand tutorials. I want to continue with my project journey, and this is the episode 2 of my video. I want to continue from where I stopped the last time. So if you've not watched my episode 1, where I talked about what I'm working on and why I'm working on it, please check the description box. I shared a link there so you can actually watch the first episode of my journey as a final year student, doing a project experiment and what you can learn from there. Now I stopped at where we grinded the onion skin. So after grinding, actually, my lecturer, that's my supervisor, he brought a weighing balance, so we had to weigh the onion skin, the whole onion skin, and the onion skin weighed 1.65 kilograms. So after weighing, we looked at, okay, what's the next step? As a group leader, I went to market with two of my project students, like my classmates too. We're in the same group, so we went to market. There's a particular lab, fin lab, so around Owerri here. So we went to the market, and then we bought 2 bottles of methanol, 1 bottle of ethyl acetate, and 1 bottle of chloroform. Now each of these chemical has a unique importance why we bought them. So but you will know about them very soon. So what we did was we bought the 2 bottles of ethanol plus the 1.5 bottle my supervisor gave us. Already each bottle of methanol contains 2.5 liters of what methanol. So when we got 2 bottles, that means we have 5 liters of methanol. So what we did was, in conjunction with the 1.5 bottle of ethanol that my lecturer gave us, so we start dissolving the onion skin inside that methanol, kind of pouring the onion skin inside the methanol. We want to dissolve it, you understand, to get the what concentration. Are you getting it? Now what happened was, we couldn't actually pour it directly. Even the funnel we bought, it didn't actually transfer the onion skin directly there. It was very difficult. So as a Nigerian student, we had to fold the paper and then we start pouring the onion skin. Now remember that onion skin contains a pigment called quercetin, now which is a type of flavonoid that is commonly used as a natural food coloring agent. I said this in my first video. Now methanol is often used as a solvent. I'm talking about this methanol where we're using it. It's often used as a solvent, to extract this pigment, that's the quercetin. Are you getting it? From onion skin, because it's a polar solvent. The family of ethanols are polar solvent. Begin to look at methanol, ethanol. They are all what? Polar solvent. Now that can dissolve both polar and non-polar substance. Now the process of dissolving onion skin in methanol is called extraction, which involves placing the onion skins in methanols and allowing the quercetin to dissolve into the solvent. This creates an onion skin extract, which can then be used for various purposes, such as dyeing, fabrics, making natural food colorants, or even for scientific experiment. Now, methanol is commonly used in extraction because it is a highly efficient solvent that is relatively easy to work with. However, it is important. That's why, even when we are handling this methanol, we try as much as possible, to be very careful, because that this ethanol is, highly flammable and is toxic, when you ingest or when you inhale it in large quantity. Even when you try to put your nose closer to the ethanol, you feel that, horrific smell, that this is not a very good thing for your health and all that. So that is it about methanol. So we dissolved the whole onion skin inside that methanol. It was very difficult at some point. The 2 bottles that we bought and 1.5 bottles that our supervisor gave us wasn't enough. So what we did was we went to another market, but no longer a fin lab now. So there is this particular lab, chemistry science. This was the first place we went in the first day, you understand, but unfortunately they went around. So this time around, one of my classmates went there, and then she bought the ethanol, and then we dissolved the remaining, even though we didn't finish up. So we dissolved the remaining onion skin inside the methanol that she bought. So we stayed for more than 72 hours, approximately 81 hours. We calculated it right, 81 hours. Now after that long, so we came the next day, and what happened was, remember we talked about extraction. So we started partitioning. Now my supervisor said that we're going to use chloroform to partition. So remember that chloroform is often used as a solvent in the extraction and purification of organic compounds, because it can dissolve a wide range of organic molecules. Now, when added to a mixture of that ethanol and onion skin extract, chloroform helps to separate the different components of the mixture based on their solubility properties. So when we added that chloroform to the solution we obtained as a result of dissolving onion skin in methanol. Remember that after dissolving that onion skin in methanol, we tried to separate the skin from the solution because a solution was formed. Remember, we dissolved that skin like onion skin extract inside that methanol. So after that 81 hours, we brought out the solution from there and then allowed the skin to be separate. So what we did was we wanted to partition, you understand? Remember, the whole thing is just to get the flavonoid concentration of this onion skin. So we added chloroform to it to partition. Now chloroform helps to separate the different components of the mixture based on their solubility properties. So after dissolving that onion skin in methanol and filtering the mixture to remove any solid particles, right, the resulting solution may still contain impurities or unwanted compounds that can interfere with future analysis or experiments. So adding chloroform to the solution and mixing helped us to remove this impurity to form two distinct layers. Two major layers were formed. We have the layer that are up and the ones that are down. Now the lower layer is the chloroform layer, and the upper layer we call it the the methanol extract layer. Are you getting it? And the chloroform layer contain non-polar compounds in the mixture, while the methanol layer will contain any polar compounds such as quercetin, which is the main pigment, remember, extracted from the onion skin. So that means we are still on track. So since two layers were formed, remember we mentioned one is the chloroform layer and two is the methanol layer, and in that methanol layer we have the quercetin. Alright, good. We say that which is the main pigment extracted from that onion skin. Now by separating these two layers, it becomes easier to isolate the desired compound and remove any impurities or unwanted compounds. So that is to say that after adding that chloroform and then trying to partition, what we need is still that methanol layer that contains the quercetin, you understand, which is the main pigment. Now we separated the chloroform. Are you getting it? So we came the next day. Now what we did was we also continued in the partition. The goal is to get the flavonoid concentration. So we added ethyl acetate to that still methanol layer, you understand, that contains the quercetin. So now we added ethyl acetate. Now ethyl acetate is often used as a solvent in the extraction of natural compounds from plants or other organic sources because it is a relatively polar solvent, that can dissolve a wide range of organic compounds, including the flavonoids like that quercetin, which is found in onion skin. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. I hope this is making sense, right? So when added to the methanol solution of that onion skin, now ethyl acetate helped us to extract additional quercetin and other flavonoids that may have been fully extracted by the methanol alone. Now this is because different solvents have different polarities and can extract different compounds based on their solubility properties. So now when we add that ethyl acetate, the first trial we formed the four layer. One, the lower layer, we have the middle layer, we have the upper layer, and we have the most upper layer. So now the lower layer is more like also an extra that we don't need. By adding ethyl acetate to the methanol solution and mixing it well, the ethyl acetate will dissolve any additional quercetin and flavonoids that were not extracted by the methanol alone. Now after separating the ethyl acetate layer from the methanol layer, the extract can be purified further. Are you getting it? Now what happened was, when we added our ethyl acetate, we formed three major layers. We have the lower layer, the middle layer, and the upper layer. Now in that upper layer is more like it contains a higher amount of that quercetin. Are you getting it? The middle layer contains a lower amount of quercetin, but the lower layer, we don't need anything there. So what we did was we separated the lower layer, the middle layer, and the upper layer. So the lower layer, we just labeled it and then dropped it where the initial first separation happened. We separated the lower layer, we dropped it separately. So now remember that the extract, which is the middle and the upper layer, the middle contains lesser number of the quercetin as compared to the upper layer, which contains a higher amount of quercetin. So the extract can be purified further by evaporating the solvent and isolating the desired compound. So we are still in the process of evaporating, so we didn't have necessary things to help evaporate this solvent and isolate the desired compound. So what we did was we carried it to a nearest lab, which is located in Futo, and this is the stage where we are in now. So far so good. we are in this stage evaporating and isolating the desired compound. Are you getting it? Now, I want you to also remember that the addition of ethyl acetate to this methanol solution of onion skin can help to increase the yield of extracted compounds and also improve the purity of the compounds, making it easier to use in further experiments or analysis. So this is my story. This is where I am. I promise to be carrying you along, and I hope you just understood my story, and I hope you're following. So till the goal is achieved, I'll keep sharing my processes here. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you again next time I upload my video. Don't forget to share this video to a friend, a biochemist, a prospective biochemist, someone who loves biochemistry, someone who wants to share this video to them, and then it will inspire them, and hopefully they will become one of us here. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.